Hello everybody, this is Greg29407 with our first episode of Astroneer. This game is in pre-alpha. As you can see from the screen, it says pre-alpha build 2.115, but the game is so much fun. I've played several editions of this so far. There's some bugs involved, of course, but we're going to play this anyway. It's just great. And so let's go ahead and launch. We have 4 choices here of astronauts. And I like this one, the Billy Blastoff looking guy, the best. So let's launch him off and get him started on the planet. This is going to send us to a Terran planet, which is kind of the standard starting planet that they have, which means the resources are allocated pretty evenly. You're not going to be short of anything. You're not going to be overly abundant in anything. It's going to be kind of the average. Give you a good starting point for the game. So that's the way they've got this set up. So this is our habitat, and we're going to hit the tab button and hop on out, and here we are. We are in this vast wasteland with nothing for miles and miles around, except for the fact that we have 2 very, very nice sets of resources right away. There are several resources in this game. The 2 primary ones at the very beginning of the game are resin and compound. And you need those 2 things to build pretty much everything. So what we're going to do, we have the little guy here, and we have our backpack. And on our backpack we have 4 slots down both sides, so we can hold 8 things here, plus 2 slots on the side, so we can hold a total of 10. We have across the top a little blue bar that shows our oxygen level, and the yellow bars down the middle show our energy, our power. So when this goes down, then we run out of energy. We can't do things we need to do. When this goes down, we suffocate and die. So it should be pretty self-explanatory. Now from our backpack, we can make a series of things. We can make a solar generator for ourselves. We can make a battery. We can make tethers. We can make an oxygen tank. We can make a generator. We can make a beacon. We can make a wind vane. So as long as we have the correct resources. So right now we have 0 resources, and we need to get some. So let's go ahead and start with some resin. And we have this E button we're going to hit, and here's our terrain tool. And this is this sucks up the ground and destroys the ground, whatever we need to do. We're going to suck up all this resin. I'm just going to push the button here, and it's going to suck all this stuff up, and it makes a big hole in the ground, as you can see. And as it gets enough stuff, it starts to fill up on our little back gun, as you can tell, and then it goes into our backpack. Okay, so we've run out of power. So you can see, if we look at our backpack, see there's the yellow is almost all the way gone. We've picked up 2 resins. And we also have some resin, almost a full thing on the back of our backpacks. Let's get one more here. There we go. All right. So I'm almost out of oxygen. As you can see, the blue bar is less than halfway. So I'm going to run back over here. And now I'm connected to my habitat. This shows that I can have unlimited oxygen this way. Okay, so we have this little capsule that we can climb into. But what good is that, right? We need to be able to search the world and explore. And this is really an exploration game. It's a sandbox, so you can do pretty much anything you want to do in the game. If you want to build everything really quickly in order to leave the planet and search out on other planets in the solar system, you can do that. If you just want to wander around and explore and collect things, you can do that too. If you want to go caving, there are a lot of underground caves here, you're free to do that as well. This is kind of like the Bob Ross, the famous painter game. This is your world. You can make of it anything you want. It's all yours. It's a happy little place, and you can make whatever happen. So let's go ahead and get started. If we put our cursor right under our feet, we have like a compass, so we can tell which direction we're going in, north, south, east, and west. And oh, the sun's coming up. It's early morning. So this is due north. I see some things over here. I see unlimited resin, which would be nice. That's due east. We have some mountains over there. Due south, some other mountains. And then that should be east. What the heck? Why is the sun rising in the west? Oh my goodness, we're in a weird place. Holy cow, what kind of planet are we on? I don't understand this. Alright, well, we'll have to go with that since we're in space. Here's the hole we just dug, so we need to be careful we don't fall in there. I tell you what, let's go ahead, for lack of any other choice, let's go ahead and go north here. So I'm going to extend this. Now, this is our base right now. That's all we have. It's a habitat. There are extensions that we can build on here, and we're going to extend this right now. And it's asking for a resin. It has a little holographic thing. It's asking for a resin, which we have. Okay, so now we have this little thing here. Now, we can choose to put an end node on here. Right now we have 4 end nodes. We can do a resource center, we can do a vehicle bay, we can do a smelter, and we can do a 3D printer. Those are the big 4. Now, if we do that, those are called end nodes. So if we put one of those 4 things right here, this will be end node. There won't be any connections. And then we can do another one over there, and another one there, another one there. Then our base is kind of full. The better way of doing this is to go ahead and continue to extend our base out, and then do those end nodes in a different location. So let me show you what I mean. Let's extend this again. Let's put a resin there. Okay, so now we have 2 of these things. So what I can do is I can actually come off of any of these 4 things, any of these 3 things here, from any side I want, and do an end node that way. So that way we can have a base that continues all the way through. So in other words, if I want to do this, so I'm going to make this an end node. I don't have any more resin. I'm going to get me some more resin. I'm going to make this an end node. So I'm going to have a series of these things going across the map, and then I'll have the end nodes coming off of those. It makes the base a little cleaner and makes us more available for other things, because we have 4 end nodes available to us at the beginning of the game. But that's not all the end nodes there are. There are a lot more. So and they'll be added as the game progresses too. So let's go back over here and dig up some more resin. Now this is not unlimited, these little pockets of resin, so we're going to fill this, we're going to empty this whole thing out at some point. In which case I'll go ahead and fill in the ground. Hopefully we get 2 more of these resins. There's 1. Will we make it? Will we make it? Will we make it? Uh-oh. Let's go back over here and get a little bit more oxygen, a little bit more power. We're so close. We need more resin. That may be all the resin that's in that hole. Okay, we'll have to fill that up later. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can find another resin thing. And I see some of the purple sticking out up here. Here we go. Here's some more resin right here. So let's dig some of this out, just so we get 2. That's all I really need. We got 1 already. There we go. Okay. Let's get back to our base. Well, we are in the middle of like a desert out here, isn't it? Boy, oh boy. I don't see a lot of trees or anything. That's okay. Alright, so we have 2 resins. Let's put those in here. Okay, our choices are a printer, our research station, our smelter, or a vehicle bay. The 2 that you need earliest and the most are going to be the research center and the smelter. So let's go with the research center. Now I need 2 compounds to make this research center, and I don't have any compounds, so let's go get some. Here's a handy little thing of compound right here. And compound is probably the thing you're going to use the most in the game. Resin is key early on, and all the way through. But there are more things you're going to be using with compound than anything else. Let's go ahead and suck this thing dry. This little gun that drains everything can also rebuild, so I like filling in these holes after I'm done, because I don't want to fall into a bunch of pits as I'm running through the woods here. Alright, let's go back and get some more oxygen. See, if I was running back to get oxygen really quick and fell in that hole, I'd have a devil of a time getting out of there. Let's load up. So it's nighttime. So we're not getting a whole bunch of stuff. So I've got 3. Look at the backpack. I've got 3 compounds plus one down here, so it's almost complete. Let's finish digging out this hole. There's another compound thing right up there, too. I promise you, we will use all of our compound. That may be it. That looks to be it. Okay. On that pit. There's another thing of compound right up there, in fact. Alrighty. Let's put 2 of our compounds here. And let's do our research. Okay. So, whenever we find these research nodes that are all over the game, we want to bring those here and pop them open. What they're going to do is they're going to give us research things that will help us build new items for our base, and then later on they'll give us more resources that we're going to need. So we'll get to those a little bit later. In the meantime, we have no power there because we don't have any way of generating power. So let's look at our backpack, and notice we have a solar. We can create a little solar thing using some compound. So let's create one of those. And I put it right up here on our top thing. What's going to happen is during the daytime, this is going to pick up the sunlight and keep our power in the middle here charged up. Now let's go ahead and build another one. Not for us, because we don't need 2 of these on our backpack, but for our base itself. Okay, so I'll put it right here. Let's take that off. And let's put it on one of these little things that we've kept right there. So, in the daytime, when the sun comes up, then what's going to happen, in the west apparently, what's going to happen is our base is going to get power. So it's going to get some solar power, and it's going to feed into this as well as the other end nodes we're going to build on here. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, do we have anything on our backpack anymore? We have one thing. So, let's see, we can build, oh, we already went through that. Okay, we do. Alright, well let's go ahead and keep mining some more stuff. Let's get some more compound up here since this game seems to really want us to get this compound. And we definitely need it. Always want more compound. The key to the early part of the game is to get our base set up in such a way that we're self-regulated. Well, that's not the right word. We're self-sufficient. We want to be completely self-sufficient so that we don't have any needs. We're not going to starve to death or die or anything like that. There are ways of dying in the game. You can suffocate. You can fall from great heights. You can die from a big storm, the storms that come up on occasion here. But for those part, and they're in caves, there are some plants that have poison. They'll kill you and things like that. But you don't have aliens or guns or anything like that. It's the good thing about this game is there's not a big time limit on stuff. You can just kind of browse through and do whatever you want. It's very relaxing. I like just kind of searching through caves and looking for secret passages and things like that. You know, just a nice way to spend the afternoon. We're getting lots of good compound out of here. Maybe the end of that. Alright, we've got quite a bit though. Let's go back and suck up some more oxygen. Alright, now look at the sun's coming up. Look at the look at that yellow line that's going over there. See that? that solar power thing that we put on our station is actually charging up our resource center. So when all those bars are filled up, we'll be able to when we get research, to put it on here and actually research this stuff. So we're getting some power, which is great. All right, let's see if we can't get some more resin. Continue building our base. Because the next thing we want to build... Where's that resin thing? It's way over here, I think. The next thing we're going to want to build is the smelter. Because we're gonna find the basic stuff for aluminum and copper, which are two other basic resources in the game. And those things you don't find just laying around like this. They're generally in caves, and you need to smelt them. You don't find copper. You find, I think it's called like malcolite or something like that. It has some names, and you had to put them in the smelter to turn them into the copper. And the same thing with aluminum. Okay, we are starting to run a little low on oxygen. Alright, let's head back. Let's head back to the barn. We've got all these craters we're going to have to fill in, so we don't fall in, get ourselves killed. And I'm going to sprint a little bit because I'm going a little slow. Okay. Let's pull this off. One more. Put your resin there. And let's do another end node off the side again. Oh, I need another resin before I can do that. We'll do that. We'll make that our smelter. So let's head back. Whoops. Make sure we don't fall in any of these holes. And again, I'm going to go ahead and fill these holes in. I love having a nice smooth area around my base. Now this thing right here, you'll sometimes see this fills up our oxygen. So if we actually use this, watch my oxygen bar. Back up, and that's the source of unlimited oxygen. So it will wear down. You can't just keep filling up forever. It'll wear it down, but then it comes back. So it's a replenishing, which is very, very convenient. And I saw some resin replenisher, if that's a term, far in the distance from our map. So we'll have that. So we'll have an unlimited source of resin. Oh, we're so close to having another resin thing. Come on. Nope. Ah, we're so close to having one more resin. Okay, let's go back and get some more oxygen. I see something over there. That may be some more resin. We got all these holes all over the place. Yeah, here's some more. We have to tidy up our base. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, here's something to look out for. See, hear that noise? Look at that. That's a big storm coming, a big sandstorm. That will kill us. So I'm going to hit tab to hide in our habitat. And those storms come up pretty quickly, and they can do a lot of damage. So just going to ride it out in here, even though the door is wide open. But the thing can blow you away, and it can also hit you with these rocks. The good news is it doesn't destroy the base. Hopefully that won't change as the game progresses, because I'd hate to have to go through and redo my base every 5 minutes. came from that direction, so it should end from that direction too. And it's clearing up. Back to where we're at. There it goes off into the distance. Alright, let's put another resin here. And we're going to make our smelter. These two compounds, which we have. Alright. So in the daytime, our little solar power will fix this up for us. Alright, now the other two things that we have to get are the vehicle bay and the 3D printer, but both of those require copper and aluminum, which we don't have and don't have any access to yet. So what we're going to have to do is do a little bit of exploring to find out some caves and find where everything is out there. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, I'm going to fill in these holes, which are now empty. So I'm going to show you briefly how to do this. I'm going to click on here. So it takes away, and it can also give back. I like having a nice smooth base. So I'm going to fill this up as much as I can. Then I'll use the smoother. Oops. No power. Eventually, power won't be a big problem, but early on, it is. When it gets to be daytime again, this will be a lot faster. When you get pretty close, then you can actually use a smoother. Oops. Oops. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and use the smoother thing. You can tell with the way I'm hitting my button, there's, see, when you, if I hit right now, it'll go down. If I hit this button, the Alt button, it goes up, and if I hit the Control button, it just smooths. It's not perfect, but I do really like it. Something very satisfying about having everything all smoothed out and neat and orderly. But again, when you're doing your map, in your game, if you like a bunch of holes and craters and everything else, you can do that too. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Just don't fall into the pit in the middle of the night and die. Alright. We have more pits to do this, but this is probably not the most exciting thing to watch. So I think what we're going to do is call this a day. What we'll do next time is we will start our first exploration, try and find out what's around our immediate area, and see what's going on. Oh, you can see that now the sun's coming up in the west. We're starting to get our powers going back up again a lot faster. And you can see also those yellow lines that our smelter is now being powered up. There you go. So that's how it works. We'll also add a wind vane to here to help out so that we can sometimes get power at night. But unfortunately, the wind vane requires some aluminum. So we need to find some caves. And I'm sure there are a lot of caves right around here too. So that'll be next time. So until the next time, this is Greg29407 saying arrivederci, and we will see you next time.